Hi, today we're going to go over installing standard suite seats on a Yamaha drive. The Yamaha drives, there's actually two series of them, but for installation purposes it's the same method. But the seat bases are different between a first series drive and a second series drive, so it's important to know which one you have. Easiest way to check if you don't know the year of the cart is on the newer drives. There's going to be some seams for the panels. The older drives, or the original series drives, are going to have a one-piece rear cowl. That's the quickest way to tell. The seats that we're going to install are going to be some standard suite seats. So they're going to have two-piece backs. You can also order the seats in with a one-piece back. They'll install the same way. For all intents and purposes, it just depends on what look as you want. When you get your suite seats in for a Yamaha drive, you'll notice that you should have a couple of spacers, and we'll go over where those go. And then your hardware kit, you're going to have some real long bolts. Those are M6s. Those are going to get used to mount the seat back. And then you're going to have 4 shorter M6s that are going to get used to mount the hinge tabs that we're going to take off the original seat. So let's start by getting the original seats off the cart. Grab a number 10 ratchet. The bolts for the back we're not going to reuse. There are new bolts that came along in the kit, but when we do the hip restraints on the seat base, we are going to save the original bolts and reuse those to mount the hip restraints. Now, this one's going to be a little stubborn. So I'm not going to be able to do it with my fingers. Okay, pull off the original seat back. We'll set that aside. Start by grabbing some hardware. We're going to have a lock washer and a flat washer that we're going to be using on each one of these. Turn these over to our seat, and we'll grab our seat spacers. Now those go on in a certain way. As you can see, the drives have an area where the brackets stick out and the bolts stick out, and there's on the original seats there's an indentation on the seat back that'll allow that to mount. Since our seats are flat in the back, we need to put some spacers in so we clear these bolts. Yeah, let's see. Always trying to remember which ones go which. There we go. So we'll just kind of let those hang there to start with. And these are symmetrical, so there isn't a left and a right. You just flip them over to make them fit. So now we're ready for our first seat back. Seats are offset So you can see that these are slightly off center. So to make this work, we make sure we have them oriented correctly. That should be correct for that. So, be able to hand start this. Always important to make sure that you get them started with your fingers first, because if you go in with a power tool or with a ratchet and you don't have them square completely, it's very easy to cross thread and spin a T-nut. And it always helps to wiggle them around a little bit if you're having trouble getting that squared up. That helps you get it to a point that it'll line up again. Have to find the opening. If you're mounting a touring edition, for example, that's going to have a one-piece back. That'll have the high back with the headrests and the flip-up armrests, and that'll mount just the same way, except that instead of having two separate pieces that you're going to be mounting, you're just going to be able to do it in one step. Okay, got those snugged up. I had mentioned that the holes are slightly offset. If you look down the center of the back this way, you'll be able to see that the T-nuts are slightly to the outside. So the wide part goes to the middle on both seats. Relatively simple install. You only need one ratchet. You don't have to have a screwdriver or any other size sockets. So you just grab your handy number 10 and away you go. With that, our seat backs are on, so we are set to mount our seat base. Start by pulling off the original base. And now we'll need a number 10 socket again. I always encourage using hand tools when you get down where stuff is not in danger of being cross-threaded or anything. You can use some handy tools. So we're going to reuse the hip restraints. And for mounting the hip restraints, we're going to use the original hardware. And then we need to remove the original hinge tabs. And for that, we're going to need an Allen wrench. So I lied. We need more than just a socket, got to have an Allen wrench too. Hinge tab off to the side there. Okay, we're done with this one. Now we can get our other stuff mounted. And I think we'll be lazy and start with the hinge tabs. Okay. Put our lock washer on and flat washer on each of these. Again, get them started by hand. All right. Now we're going to grab our original hardware. These all started too. Now we're ready for the other side. Sometimes they act a little goofy, so like I said, before you go after it with the impactor wrench or anything, at least use something that you have some feel for it, that make sure you don't cross-thread it, because then you'll be mad. But as you can see, they mount, other than the spacers, they mount pretty much just like if you were going to put another original seat on. There you go. That's how you mount some sweet seats on a Yamaha Drive 2. Sweet seats are offered in a full line of replacement seats for all the major brands and all the major models. Yamaha, Club Car, E-Z-GO, Star Car. Check with your local dealer and they'll get you set up. Thanks for watching the video.